Ken Bouyer, America's Director of Inclusiveness Recruiting at EY. He's been at EY for over 30 years. When I first got my Inroads internship at EY, and I was 19 years old and pretty arrogant, but Ken Bouyer taught me a few things and put me in shape. So I'm so happy to have you here. Ken Bouyer.
Calvin, thank you so much, buddy. And hey, you know, part of this is taking responsibility for the young folks that are coming up. And you got to tell them what they need to hear, not necessarily what they want to hear. So I had to tell you what you needed to hear, man. You need to shape up. So, but so proud of you and for what you've done and what you're doing. Forrest, always a pleasure to follow you and to be in your company, and so many friends, frankly, that are going to be speaking today. And it's just great to be with you. And Kelvin, you're right, man. I'm just celebrating my 30th year with the firm, and which for me is just an incredible feat. Grew up in New York City, in Queens specifically. I'm actually a recovering auditor, so I'm an accountant by background, but leading our DE&I efforts on the talent side and recruiting now, and been doing that for a number of years. And for me, it's a personal thing, because when I started with the firm back in the day, you know, there were not a lot of Black accountants. You know, now we have organizations, have had organizations like the National Association of Black Accountants. A little shout out to them, as well as shout out to Inroads. But we didn't have a lot of folks that looked like me in their profession. And so for me to be in a position to try to affect change, to try to introduce, you know, Black and brown folks and others to the greatness of this professional services world, it's an honor. So that's why I do this work. And I've got a 15-year-old daughter who, you know, I want to make sure that she has an opportunity to do whatever she wants to do, obviously, but is exposed and given equal opportunity, if you will. So great to be here. I'm going to talk a little bit about building pipeline. And I so appreciated the comments by the folks who are participating to want to create change. I'll give you a couple things to consider and think about as you're looking to build a diverse talent pipeline. The first question I have for you is your organization really committed to diversity? And that's a serious question, because I think, Forrest, as you mentioned, we need action. What I have found, and I'm gonna keep it 100 because that's what I do, post George Floyd, there's a lot of organizations that all of a sudden got woke and people, but they're not about the action. And so the question is your organization really committed to this thing called diversity and inclusion? And so do you have a person, a strategy, an investment? Is your board, is your CEO, are you as an executive or a leader engaged in this opportunity to create the change that I saw many of you respond to? You want to be a part of the change. So my question is, what are you going to do about it? So who in your organization is responsible for ensuring you have a diverse pipeline and recruiting people who come from all different walks of life? So here at the firm at EY, we hire like 14,000 people a year, campus and experienced people. And what I do in my team and recruiters, we ensure there's a diverse talent pool, right? We're in the marketplace all the time, trying to make sure that people who are very different understand opportunities that are available. What's your communication strategy? Do you have a plan? Do you have people responsible? And how are you communicating opportunities that are in your industry, your world, if you will? And also, what is your area of focus? Diversity means a lot of things. That definition has really expanded over the years, right? So whether you're a veteran or you're differently able, whether you're part of the LGBT community, whatever it might be, how does your organization define diversity? And then what are you going to do differently to create that change that you want? What I hear a lot, I work a lot with our clients who are interested in creating a D&I strategy, if you will. And many will say, Ken, I can't find the talent. I can't find people of color. And to that, I say that's bull. Where are you looking? How are you showing up? Are you using organizations like Inroads? Are you looking at different sourcing channels other than your traditional ones that you typically go to, right? What's that definition of crazy? Keep doing the same thing, look for different results. You gotta do some different things. You gotta fish in different ponds if you wanna see a different talent result. So ask yourself those questions. The other piece that is really needed in this space is you have to also understand where's your business units. So however your organization is structured, whether you're a partnership, you've got business units, your business units need to be engaged in this discussion as well, because candidly, the recruiting organization in your group, your company, can only do a piece of it. They could bring the talent to the organization, but the question is, the folks who are conducting the interviews, making decisions. So if your business units, your leaders, your executives are not on board with what you're trying to do to create change, recruiters can bring all the diverse talent in the world to you. But if you're not hiring them, if people don't appreciate and respect why you're trying to diversify your organization, your results will be reflected therein. So how are you engaging your business? And how are they part of this solution as well? Because it can't just be recruiting engaged and trying to bring diversity to your organization. So there's a lot to unpack and a lot to consider there. And then finally, what I get a chance to do, and I'm encourage many of you, I sit on a number of university boards. I'm involved in a lot of universities that the firm recruits at. And what I do is I go to those campuses, I talk to the university presidents, the deans, the provosts, and I question them on why don't you have more diversity in your business school or your engineering school? Let's talk about what this university is doing to increase the diversity on campus. Because ultimately, that's the pool that we're each, if you're looking for university grads, that each of us will recruit from. So we've got to start at the sources, university levels. As a firm, we're doing a lot at the high school level as well. So we've got to plant trees because we all need to breathe. And if you want diversity, you got to make sure you're planting trees all over the world. So, Kelvin, I'll stop there. I mean, to your point, I can speak for 90 minutes on this. I'm not too passionate about it, am I? But I'm going to turn it back over to you. Thanks for the time. Look forward to the dialogue.